get this in here too. All right. All right, so here we are, ready to go for another round of live discussions with my partner here, Mr. Jonathan Dominguez. How you doing, bub?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing well. How have you been?
Enjoying the weather, getting yard work done, catching up on stuff. Seems like we're in a little break right now, like a little mini vacation.
Yeah, I was looking at. Yeah, I was looking at our schedule. I mean, we've got Truman in it's like 4 or 5 weeks from now. I mean, it's nice to have a little break in between, and then got all the River Series and all this other stuff going on. So it's good, man.
Yeah, coming up next, there's a few of us that are getting ready to go down to Possum Kingdom Lake in Texas for the first ever Bassmaster Classic Kayak Championship. So that's what's on my mind right now. I've been scouting and looking at map research and doing a lot of research on that lake. So that's pretty much what I'm focused on right now. But we do have the Memorial Day online charity tournament coming up. So that's going to be something too.
Yeah, this is just one way for us to, give back to the community. Us as kayak anglers, we're a different breed. We're not worried about the fancy boat and all this other stuff, and it's really one way for us to give back to the community and be charitable. It's going to be exciting, and it's always fun to see that tournament and who comes out on top. What was it last year? We did MLF style on that one, correct?
Last year, no, I think we donated the money. Yeah, we did, and then we donated it to Heroes on the Water. So the Heroes on the Water, we raised some money for them. This year, we're going to work with the city of Ozark, and they're working to get a new playground built there in the town. So we're going to donate all of the proceeds from this tournament is going to go to the city of Ozark. We're working with our, buddy MoYak member Ryan Reed. He's kind of our liaison with this, and so looking forward to being able to present them with a nice check from MoYak. Also, we could use some volunteers at the event. The Finley River fishing event is going on the same weekend. So if guys want to come out and show off their kayaks, maybe throw on your jerseys and talk to some kids about fishing. It's whatever you want to do. We'll be at OMTC. So anybody that wants to come out and help out, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. So sign up for the tournament. It's you got all 3 days, 3 or 4 days to fish. Fish anywhere in Missouri you want. 5 fish count. We'll do some kind of a prize pack for the winner, but even if you can't fish and you've got plans for your family, please sign up. Just donate some money anyway. Attorney X is waiving all their fees, so we can, give all this money to help them kids. And like I told Ryan, maybe they'll name a slide or a swing set after MoYak, like the MoYak slide.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be cool to see that. Ryan Reed has been working really hard on that. Been posting stuff, been getting. I think I saw a post from him about some prizes and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see him, working with his community and bringing us along and us being able to help out. And, guy's super nice guy. Talk to him if you have questions, want to know more what's going on. Definitely one of the guys that you can talk to as far as the that side of the tournament. But it's exciting to see that we can be part of the community as well.
Yeah, there's a link up on the Facebook group. I was just looking for it. I can't find it, but you can also donate directly to their event and enter their event as well and compete in both if you want. They're going to have prizes in their fishing derby as well. I believe it's a $30 entry fee donation to get in. So we got that option as well. Try and get that posted up. I lost it, but let's look at it. Oh, we got, hey, Richie, what's up? Tony, Mark, Sam Rayburn, no. I'm trying to stick a little closer to home this year.
Well, we haven't been on here for a little while and haven't done the podcast, but let's get kind of caught up on some, where we've been. We were at Lake of the Ozarks a couple weeks ago. Great event, great turnout. It was really cool to see all the guys fishing the AAKC along with our event come down and from different areas and all that. Really cool to see. But let's talk about LOZ first. Let's start with the team side. Let's talk about those guys.
Yeah, the team trail went off pretty good. I don't have that pulled up right now.
We had 8 teams there. Some guys, they had some really good limits. But Active Duty, they just came off their win on the River Series as well. Jeremy Mitchell and Jason Yazinski. Both of those guys, I mean, they've had a really good year so far.
Yeah, powerful team to look out for this year, that's for sure.
I mean, both on the team and the individual side, both of those guys have done well. They had 166 inches take first place on the team side. Congrats to Active Duty. And while we're on, talking about them, congrats on your guys' river win as well.
Yeah, I mean, they went out and kicked some butt in the River Series. They're looking like a team to be reckoned with this year, that's for sure. And whether it's a Trail Series or the River Series.
Oh, and I totally screwed that up. I'm on the River Series as well. The LOZ team, they were the Bream team, Mike Denton and Jacob Johnson. I was totally wrong on that.
Yeah, I didn't have it brought up.
Wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, so Lake of the Ozark winners were the Bream team, and then the River Series was the Active Duty. Bream team, Mike Dent and Jacob Johnson, which we'll have Mike Dent on here in a little while and talk to him about Lake of the Ozarks. They had 174.5 inches. Looks like we had 17 teams for Lake of the Ozarks.
Yep, not bad. And we had on the All-American side of Lake of the Ozarks, looks like we had 59. We almost hit 60 again. Looks like we're averaging almost 60 anglers in the All-American this year, so that's pretty good. But yeah, Mike Dent went out there and tore him up again. 92.5 inches. Sam Young, he was in second place with 87 inches. We got John Stickley, 86 3/4. Chad Davison, 85 1/4, and Lance Burris, 84 1/4, rounding out the top 5. So all those anglers are off to a really good start in the All-American as well.
Yeah, where were they just this past weekend? Was it Okoboji? Is that correct?
Yeah, that was on Okoboji. And, anglers did pretty well up there. That was a really tight tournament. I mean, those scores were like neck and neck. It was weird. Look how tight all these scores are. 87, 87, 86. Every little quarter of an inch really mattered in this tournament up north. And you'll see all these limits that were caught. It took 80 inches to get to 36th spot. So that's a pretty fun day on the water.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's really cool to see, like we were talking about before we got on here, but like multiple guys having the same scores, and it came down to their biggest fish. And it's wild. I mean, you got guys down in 29th, Marty Hughes, he had 15 fish that he submitted. So, like, it's wild that he kept calling and was able to get to where he was. You've got 12th place, Joey Banyo, he had 14 fish. It's just a lot of fish and a lot of the same size. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's been a fun series so far, and hats off to Josiah Meter. He's been on tear up there in Iowa lately. I think it's his third win in a row or something like that. So I think he's the Iowa version of the Dorman that we got down here. So he's on fire. So congratulations to Josiah for his win there on Okabaji.
Where is the All-American headed next, Josh?
Next up for the All-American is on Wilson Lake in northern Kansas, north central Kansas. Really pretty lake. I'm kind of excited to get there myself because it's a lake I've never been to before, but looking at the pictures of it and doing some research, it's a pretty historical, beautiful place. So that's going to be a fun adventure as well. That's also right after we're coming back from Texas. So some of us were driving from Texas and going straight up to Wilson Lake in Kansas without a break. We'll be on the road for a whole week. So got to love those adventures too.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like a good road trip. Swinging back around to that river series on the individual side, James Harding took that dub, 84 3/4 inches. I'm really excited. Most guys that know Jim know he had surgery a while back, and it's good to see him back on the water and doing what he loves and not even missing a beat. Guys just absolutely hammering him. Jeremy Mitchell finished in second, just a 1/4 inch behind him. Garrett Reed had 84. Jason Yazinski there again, 81.5. And then Brandon Prince rounding out the top 5 with 78.5.
Yeah, those are man. All those guys are strong river fishermen. You're going to be seeing their names up there a lot in this river series. And, I know it was bad timing, bad weather for our first tournament. I expect to see a few more guys get involved in this, including myself. I wasn't able to make it because of Okabaji. I had to judge and help take care of that, but I'm free now, and I'm going to fish this tournament series like I want to win it. So Jim Harding, Jeremy Mitchell, I'm coming for you, buddy, because I know how to fish the creek too.
Watch out.
I got a partner too. I'm going to be in the team trail as well on the riverside. So look out for this new team that's coming out.
Hot dog. It's going to be good to see you out on the water with us.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I love fishing the rivers, man. Rivers are where I feel most at home. I love fishing the lakes too, but I just grew up fishing the creeks, so it's going to be good to get back to doing what I do and love. That's what it's all about.
Josh, I'm looking on our Facebook group here. You had posted a tentative schedule for next year. Let's talk about that for a minute. And I think there's going to be some changes, some good things, bad things. What do you think?
Well, nothing's really set yet, but yeah, we're gonna move things around a little bit next year. I always try and keep things fresh. We don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again, but also the season's going really well, and I'm kind of fine tuning what I think a good schedule is for us. And we'll be probably dropping one of the lakes next year, picking up in a new one, doing a little bit more of a drive possibly. But working on that schedule. Might even drop the river tournament off the regular trail. I don't know. That's kind of like a tradition in MoYak, so we might keep that on there. But I'm open to input. If anybody's got some ideas, on some or suggestions, I'm always willing to listen. But yeah, we'll have a little bit different schedule next year. Be close to the same, but we're gonna have a new player come on board, and that's all I've got to say about that.
Well, cool, man. I'm excited about that. It's always fun to especially during the wintertime, during off season, to look at the schedule and see the announcements and, get ready for the next year.
Yeah, I can tell you too, we're not going to have no tournaments on holiday weekends. I'm not going to worry as much moving forward about scheduling conflicts. Last year, it drove me crazy trying to wait for KBF, Bassmaster, Hobie, all the local area clubs and, everything that was going on to try and not have a schedule that conflicted with anybody. and it made it. It's just I'm not doing that next year. I'll do my best to not conflict with any major tournaments in the area, but we're going to have our schedule, and they can other guys can schedule around us.
You know what?
I hope to have the schedule out, pretty soon, pretty early, like around Christmas time when everybody starts dropping theirs. So I'll be ready.
Where we're at right now and the way we've grown, over the last few years, we may have a stake in the game to say, hey, this is our schedule and deal with it. We don't necessarily need to work on it.
Yeah, I want everybody still to be able to, the guys that like to travel to still to be able to go do that. But, there's not really that many in this area anymore. It's not like it used to be. So we've kind of got some pretty big events of our own. So that used to be the main reason to travel, was to go to these bigger tournaments with the bigger payouts, and bigger numbers. And we're kind of already starting to create that here in Missouri, which I love that. Which is also I noticed today, I was checking the membership roster. We hit member number 199 today. So we got 199 members signed up for this year. And I think we need to do something for the next person. I want to see 200. So the next person that signs up, I'm going to give a T-shirt and a buff and some other goodies. I'll put together a little pack for the 200th member to have a little party, because we've never done that before. That would be something.
Yeah,
if you've been thinking about signing up and you haven't yet, let's go. Go.
Right now. Get on there and go sign up.
It's going to be a race to see who's number 200.
Josh, what else do we need to talk about? Need to get out there for
we got Mike. He's ready to come on and talk about his tournament at Lake of the Ozarks. So,
I just talked to Sam as well. I think he's good as well.
Sam's ready to come on too. All right, let's see if we get guys on here and let's talk about Lake of the Ozarks. Oh. Lance said he would have killed for an 18-incher in that tournament.
I saw that.
And then tournament like that, one fish can mean so much too.
Yeah, it was really cool. Just even looking at the scores after the fact, it's like neck and neck. Everyone just quarter inches away from each other. It's really good to see tournaments like that rather than guys not catching them.
Yeah, they had me hopping on judging. Fish were coming in constantly. What's going on, David? Mark, are you heading down to Rayburn? Man, good luck, dude. Looks like we got Mike here.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Mike, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much.
So we got Sam too. Sam.
Hey guys.
Hey, we got the whole gang. All right, it works.
What's up, guys? How are you guys? Sam, let's start off with you, man. Let's introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself and go from there.
Yeah, so Sam Young. I actually grew up in the Boot Heel. If you can't tell by my accent, grew up fishing Lake Wapapello. I know there's a few guys in the club that fish that as well. So actually, it fishes a lot like Truman. Dirty water for the most part. I'm an IT guy at Cox Health, so that's what I do during the day, and kind of allows me to do the kayak thing. And I grew up fishing from a bass boat with my grandpa. He got me into it, and then fell in love with kayak fishing. And I think I started MoYak 4 years ago or so, and then started in Ascend, and then upgraded to the SS127, and haven't looked back since then. So it's been good.
That's awesome, man. Glad you have having you a part of our club. Mike, tell us about yourself, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I grew up in North St. Louis. I started fishing when I was a kid. My home lake was pretty much Lake of the Ozarks my whole life. That's where my dad always took me. They were in Table Rock, but mostly Lake of the Ozarks because it was closer. I do concrete. I drive a dump truck and a bobcat all day. I hate it, but it pays for the tournament entry fees.
There you go. You got to figure some way to get in the tournaments.
Yeah, that's right.
Mike, what are you fishing out of, man?
I fish out of the Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 136. I just bought it this year.
How you liking that? So got that's the one with the spot on it.
Yeah, it's got the spot lock on it. I love it. It's a great boat. I bought a Pescador because I joined MoYak last year. My first tournament with Lake of the Ozarks, I fished it out of a Sun Dolphin, which I borrowed from a buddy. And it was sketchy to say the least. Right when we launched, a big boat was already going up for some reason that early in the morning. And I thought I was going over in the first 500 yards of the launch. So I ended up holding on to one of the dock cables for dear life. And an old man, he's coming down the walkway. And he said, "Are you all right there, son?" I told him, no, I'm not all right. So then I bought a Pescador after that.
Yep, upgrade time.
Yeah.
Well, guys, let's talk about Lake of the Ozarks. You guys both did very well on the All-American side and the MoYak side. Sam, let's start off with you. If you want to share where you fished, that's totally up to you, and kind of what your bite was and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I won't give exact location because I know there's some guys. I ran into Jared Fosno the week before. I don't want to give his spot away. But it was basically upriver, kind of towards Warsaw a little bit. And I actually fished the week before and caught the heck out of them on a black and blue chatterbait. And then tried to replicate that on Friday. Me and Chad Hartman went up there and did some pre-fishing and tried to replicate it. Couldn't get a bite on the chatterbait all day on Friday. So switched it up to a wacky rig weighted Senko. I just used one of the Tackle HD jig heads that are brush or weedless, and just use that for a wacky rig and black and blue Senko, and flipped behind docks and caught a nice 20 first thing in the morning. I think it may have been like 7 o'clock exactly. It was nuts. Just almost like the 15th cast or whatever. And then caught some nice 18s. Actually caught 3 18s. The first 18 I caught was first thing in the morning again, maybe 8 o'clock. And then I didn't catch another fish until the afternoon, and went back to that same spot where I caught that 18 and actually caught the same fish again. And so when I got to the weigh-in there, I talked to Josh, and we were like, yeah, that's the same fish. So my next biggest fish that I caught was 15 inches from that. So I think it was a 1975, 18, and 16 and a quarter and a 15. But yeah, I just threw that wacky rig weighted Senko all day long, nothing else.
And what were you targeting? Just mainly behind docks?
Yep. Yeah. So I got basically the place where I was fishing had a few. I mean, it was a pretty good sized cove, but it had a few smaller coves going off of it that had docks all the way in the back of them. I literally just went to the very back of each dock and flipped behind the cables because I knew they were on beds still where I was fishing. And I just targeted behind docks, behind cables all day.
Mike, what about you? Did you find something similar to Sam?
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to pre-fish it at all. We ended up getting down there about 6:30 Friday night. We settled into the hotel room and woke up the next morning, and I went all the way to the back of the cove I was at. And the funny story about that is I actually threw a spook. My first cast, I threw a spook and popped it twice and caught a 15 and a half. And then I didn't have no pliers. They were all the way in the back of my kayak. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get a hook in my hand this early. I put it down, picked my Senko up, and just went straight to the back of boat docks. And I was just, I skipped everything. So I was about a foot. I was targeting about a foot to 4 foot of water with the weighted Senko, and they were just there. The first big one I caught was 20 inches.
Yeah, that one's a beast. I got it up right now on the screen. That thing was fat, and you can tell it had been on the bed. Its tail's all mangled.
Yeah, that was the first one. That was I fish with 8-pound line when I'm at Lake of the Ozarks. Usually anything when I'm doing light finesse with the Senko or the finesse worm, I throw 8-pound lines. So I got my drag set super loose on that pole. So when that one hit it and it was screaming me under the boat dock and running me all over God's creation, it was a tense moment when you see him come up and you're like, uh-oh, I got to get him in. But I worked my way out to the deeper water, and then the bite shut off, and then I went to a secondary point and paralleled it, and then I caught 36 inches in 2 casts, which would have been I think it was a 19 3/4 or something like that.
So you just caught them like one right after the other?
Yeah, one right after the other.
Man, can't beat that.
Mike,
I caught
did you
a lot
say
of
you're-
fish.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I caught a lot of fish that day, but I just didn't have no service on my phone. So when I actually got to a port where I could submit them, I just submitted the 5 best ones I had, and then tried to get one more.
Mike, were you using a weighted Senko as well, or were you going weightless?
I was throwing it weighted. I throw them on a Ned rig head, like the Z-Man Ned rig head, the smallest one they have. I take pliers and, the clip that holds the Ned rig on, I'll break that off because it'll tear your Senko up if you don't. And I just fish them on that.
Did either one of you guys notice there was a specific color on your wacky rig, or did it really matter to them?
For me,
I caught them on the peanut butter and jelly and June bug.
yeah, I caught all mine on. It was literally just a black Senko, and then it had a little blue on the tip of the tail. I actually switched it up to have chartreuse on the tail, and they wouldn't bite that one. It was only that black and blue one, which was interesting.
Wow.
So, I fished the tournament as well. I had similar. I had them on a spook and a wacky rig. Sam, did you have any close calls on, maybe a big fish behind a dock or anything like that kind of freaked you out?
Yeah, I had, a few actually. I think I had more of them on that Friday before. I think I didn't land like 3. They felt big. Of course, who knows how big they were, but they were right at the boat. And then several on that, that I was catching them on that wacky rig. I mean, I barely hooked them. I mean, when I pulled them up, I could literally just pop that hook out, just super simple. So yeah, I did get a few of them spit out the hook on me, but I don't think they were any good size, maybe 15s or so, but nothing huge. No.
How about you, Mike? Did you fish pretty clean on tournament day?
I actually fished super clean, which was shocking for me, because I've had a lot of bad luck. At Table Rock, I had issue my board, so I took Josh's advice and actually went and bought the yellow and black board. So that's what I use now, which is the pictures, you get Lake of the Ozarks on that new board. But I've lost a lot of fish at the boat, but the tournament day went super, super clean for me. It was actually felt really good for everything to go right.
Absolutely. So Sam, I know you're fishing out of that bona fide and running a motor as well. Let's ask Mike first. Coming from a kayak before, going to a kayak with a motor, is there anything you'd recommend, or is it something like, hey, it really changed the way you fished, or is it something that it's more of a luxury?
Well, for me, I bought it because last year I had to quit halfway through the season because I had my back rebuilt in 2015. So when I bought the Pescador, which I love that boat, paddling it, but I just couldn't stay in the boat long enough. I'd have to take a break for 30, 45 minutes. So then I was like, I just got to do something so I can stay in the tournaments with my buddies and stay in the boat all day. So I got that boat, and it's really a life changer for me. I mean, I can sit in it all day. It's not even taxing in the least bit. So, I mean, you can look at it any number of ways. I mean, for people that just want to upgrade, it would be a luxury for sure,
It does make a big difference, especially, just having the comfort factor, the reliability factor. I mean, I know too, I blew out my elbow, the tendons in my elbow, and that's what made me switch over to, decide to get a trolling motor and to get a little more motorized. And since I made that switch, I mean, honestly, I haven't been fishing as well, but I feel a lot better today. I'm not as so much worn. I used to call it the tournament hangover, where after the tournament, I'd get home and I would just be zombie dead, and the whole next day I'd be just exhausted. I need a whole day to recover from a tournament. I don't really feel that bad anymore now that I've got a motor. I still got a little more energy, but you guys ever get a tournament hangover? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I had it last year.
It can wear you out, man.
Well, I fished with Jonathan a lot, and he had the XI3 and I don't think it had pinpoint yet, but man, every time we fished, like I had to hook onto you and we'd go, way upriver or whatever, just fun fishing, just fun fishing. I'm like, all right, I got to get a piece of that. But yeah, I mean, the motor for me, honestly, yeah, it's a big physical thing because you can run wherever, but the mental side of it, of knowing that you can fish up till lines out for the most part and still get back to the ramp and not be exhausted and have that, post-tournament hangover. I don't know, just that mental side of not having to do that. If you're battling wind and stuff like that, you just know that you can fish up to the last second. That's honestly the biggest thing for me. And I've had it for this year is the first year I've had it. And it's been a game changer so far for me. But then of course you don't have to have it. I mean, you can get out there and whatever you want and paddle up a creek. And I mean, several guys in this league don't have any, just have their plastic boat and boom, they are winning all these tournaments and stuff. So you don't need it. But for me, yeah, definitely a mental thing for sure.
Sam, do you feel like it has changed the way you fish at all?
I honestly think that it not necessarily that did, but I kind of went back to my style of fishing. Like the previous years, getting into the kayak, I listened to a lot of the guys around this area because I wasn't used to, clear fisheries. And, a lot of people throw swim baits and stuff like that, and they catch the far out of them. But I'm more of a finesse guy, flipping worms and jigs and stuff like that. And this year I just went straight back to that. And I mean, yeah, some basic stuff like chatterbaits and stuff, but I just kind of went back to my style of fishing growing up, and that's really helped out, just being confident in what you throw.
Mike, how about you? Has it really changed up? I know with me, with having a motor, I feel like I can run and gun more, and not necessarily the best thing, but I mean, has it changed the way you fish?
Yeah, I absolutely go a lot further from where I launch now, and I can make those runs. So when I see something I like on Google Earth, I can look at it and be like, you know what? I can go get that now because I ain't got to paddle over there and then pull over, have a break, and get back on the boat. And then, I'm a finesse fishing is that's just what I do. Like if you ask anybody how I fish, I fish it slow and I tear it all apart. Some days I have great days, some days I have horrible days, but that's just how I do it. And with the spot lock, if I really find a piece of cover or a dock I really want to pick, I can hit it and I can just sit there and just fish it the way I fish it, because when I was in the pescador trying to fish my way, the wind blowing me down the bank, and then you got to try and get that one arm out there and paddle up the bank and then make sure you ain't hung. So, I mean, I broke off a lot last year, boy. It was super frustrating learning curve last year.
Absolutely.
Well, with us headed to Truman, all these motors in these kayaks, they better watch out because there's a couple standing timber in Truman. I don't know if you guys have been there or not.
There's a few stumps there.
At least it's not November. Last year we were
I went there
running
last year.
Duck hunters, yeah.
Duck hunters and kayak anglers don't mix at all.
No.
They don't like us up at La Crosse either.
Sam, you have anybody you want to shout out to, say thanks to, or anything like that, man?
Not really. I'm honestly just do this for fun. Like I said, it's something, I don't know, it's a mental release, staring at a computer all day, every day. It's nice to just get outdoors and have a good time with all you guys. They're a blast. They've always have been.
What about you, Mike? You got any sponsors? Anybody you want to shout out, say thanks to?
No, I ain't got none of that going on, but I'll shout out to you guys. You guys do a great job. I appreciate all the work you guys put in to make sure we had these tournaments and all that. And I just appreciate it. Just want to tell you guys face to face how much I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. And I just want to say thanks to Everharts for doing what they do to help us, put on the series, as well as our other sponsors like Feel Free Kayaks, DeBalm Anchors, Yak Attack. A lot of these companies had, struggled last year, and they stood beside us this year. So thanks to all of our sponsors, that are out there for this year as well.
Hey, Mike, looking at the schedule for the rest of the year, what lake are you looking forward to?
Well, I've only been to two of them. I've been to Truman once. I've never even seen Stockton before. I never even put eyes on it a day in my life. So, I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to fishing a lake I ain't never fished before. That kind of pumps me up. And then I'm fishing the rest of the All-Americans for the rest of the year. I'm going to do all of them. So,
you'll like Stockton.
not
blown.
I think the upper pools, the Mississippi pools, are the ones. Yeah.
Yes, that's going to be one that everyone's going to want.
That's the one I'm looking forward to.
The timing is going to be perfect. If you like topwater fishing, frog fishing, jackhammer fishing, Senko fishing, lacrosse in the summertime, buddy, I'm telling you, that's going to be a fun one. I'm hoping I can get to fish in that one. I hope I don't get stuck having to judge it because I want to fish in that one.
Sam, what about you, man? What lake are you looking forward to the rest of the year?
Yeah, definitely Truman. I've always enjoyed that lake. I love flipping a 10-inch worm on those flooded trees. Man, I don't know what it is about it, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It should be fun. And Everhart's, man, anytime they host something, it's a blast. There'll probably be 110 anglers up there, and
we're going to fill up their parking lot for sure.
Yeah. I always love the sight pulling into Everhart's and seeing all the plastic army out there.
Yeah, we will invade Clinton, Missouri next month. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, guys, seriously, thank you for coming on here and hanging out with us, talking to us. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules. Josh, what else you got for them, man?
Man, I just hope that everyone, signs up for the Memorial Day online charity tournament this weekend, the Memorial Day weekend. It's an online tournament. You can fish anywhere you want. These donations, like I said, are all going to go towards a really good cause of giving some kids some new playground equipment. So next up for us is some charity work. Also volunteers, Sam, Mike, if you guys want to come too, we'll be at OMTC. So any volunteers will be welcome on that day. I think it's Sunday or Monday. I think it's Monday. I have to look that up, but yeah, Memorial Day online's up next. Then we've got June online series to sign up for. That's coming up in a couple weeks, and then we're off to Truman.
Yeah, looking at the AOY standings right now too. Sam, you're sitting in 7th, and then Mike, it looks like you're at 12th, and it's exciting for you guys. Hopefully, the rest of the year pays off for you all, and you guys can stay on that top side.
Yeah, fingers crossed for sure. Like I said, there's a lot of big sticks in this MoYak series, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys, for the rest of the year, man. Thanks for coming on here tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you got anything else, Jonathan?
That's all I got, man. I feel like I've been asking
for having
much.
us.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys. See ya.